I had forgotten to paste my... Whoa. Why are there two chats? Blah. I had forgotten to paste my audio over to this screen. Whoopsies. Clearly, preparation is something that was a little lacking for this stream, I would say. Clearly, there were things, there are times in life where you want to do something, and then you forget about all the steps that lead up to it. And so you set out to do that thing, and then you forget there are things that would stop you from doing the thing. That is the story of what has happened today, my friends. Kontomo. My name is Uzuki Tomoya, formerly part of Tsundere, now here, being chillin'. I uninstalled the game months ago because I didn't have space on my hard drive back then. And I forgot that I did that. And now, when I went to re-download it off Steam, I don't have any game progress. So, we are, as the kids would say, screwed. Yeah, we can't play the 4th chapter of the game because it would take 5 hours to get there. And I would like to be asleep in 5 hours. So, yeah, the 4th chapter of the game, not happening, unfortunately. So, I present to you guys 2 options. 2 options for my YouTube return stream that happens like once every month. 2 options. We can play the game fresh. And so all the people that have already seen it are going to see it again and like, oh, that's what happened. And now I'm just going to have 2 VODs of the 1st chapter and I'll just change the title. Or we could do something else and we could pick a game or pick a topic or just free chat or something about that. And we could do whatever. I could break out the Suika game because that's like my favorite game ever right now. And we could smack that on YouTube and do that. Can we pick a nose? I don't think it's possible to pick my nose, but you could pick your own nose, I think. That's an option, I guess. Always an option to pick your nose, just in private. Something else has endless possibilities. Exactly. The possibilities are indeed endless. It could even be karaoke. Except for doing karaoke also, like, on Saturday. So, that's probably not... I mean, I could even work. I could even, like, break out my Japanese books, and I could read you guys a story. A story written for, like, toddlers or, like, 2nd graders. And I could read you that. That's also an option. I think that's legal on YouTube. I think, because it's studying. I could do kanji practice. I could learn a song. I could sing you guys a song. These options, the possibilities are endless. I could draw something I could pull out my card games. There's many things. There's also just free chatting. There's also very fun video games. But in order to do that, we must decide. In order to know, we must decide. I don't know, because this is a comeback stream and I've not been here for a while, I don't know exactly how many people to expect for this and when to cut off the vote. I think we just wait. We wait until we give it 10 more minutes. How about that? We give it 10 minutes, and whatever the result is in 10 minutes, we will play. Or we will do, and we'll figure out what to do from there. But in the meantime, we'll just chat and catch up and see what's been going on. So, let's see, what's a good topic? I don't know. Recently, this is a horrible topic. Maybe I shouldn't. Recently, there's been a lot of car accidents on the freeway. This is not a good topic. I think I should stop while I'm ahead. But yeah, I didn't get, not that I've gotten into a car accident myself, but like the other day driving to work, there was a car, like I entered the freeway and there was a car accident right then and there to my left. Then I passed another car accident that had happened, and then as I was getting close to work, someone got a flat tire. Like the car right in front of me got a flat tire, and I had to like immediately slow down, and I had to dodge them. There's been a lot of things going on. I don't know if it's a sign of the times. One of my coworkers also, yeah, there's a lot of stuff. So, I don't know. Maybe it's that time of the year where people start to go like bananas, or like the sun starts setting and it's a little chilly outside and people are like, I don't want to drive straight anymore, or my car is having issues. I don't know, but there's a car accident right outside your school. That's spooky. Yeah, I mean, maybe it's the times. This seems like a horrible topic. I don't like this topic very much anymore. Man. But yeah, otherwise, a lot of people, including us, all of us included, don't know how to drive. Yeah, honestly, me driving, sometimes I don't know how to drive either. Like, oh my god. Even today I had a moment. I was like at a green light and I slowed down thinking it was a stoplight that was a stop sign or something. Luckily it was a small residential light, but I was like, man, my brain is off. What am I doing? Yeah, I don't know. But anyways, that was the topic. That got my brain juices flowing a little bit. So, some things I guess we can also talk about. What was I gonna say? My brain is like short-circuiting. Streaming. So, I posted the bi-weekly stream schedule this week, or last week, I guess. And it just felt like a lot of wait time. So this week I tried to revise it into a more frequent stream schedule for a single week. And I think the answer for me is a balance between the two of them. I think we still go bi-weekly stream schedule, but I definitely think 2 to 3 is my max for things I can put out a week. Going up to 4 like this week, it's definitely 3 streams during the work week has already been quite a lot. Definitely limiting my time to do other things after work and relax. And my streams and cover also, that there's minor coordination there. So I think we're gonna drop it down to 2 or 3. Maybe some things, I'm definitely getting the feel for some streams are better for Twitch and some streams are better for YouTube. So we're gonna figure that out between the two. I think I definitely like doing chatting streams a lot more on Twitch. Twitch just feels a lot more casual, and more eventful streams feel like they're more YouTube geared. Definitely something like a box opening that has like, okay, I'm gonna do this activity, and then I'm going to finish doing the activity, and at the end of the activity, there's going to be a VOD to look back on. Those kinds of activities, I feel like are very YouTube related. Other things that are just like, it's a chatting stream, it's like a game that doesn't really go from A to B. Something like an Apex stream, or playing Suika game, for example, or even just like a literal just chatting stream. I think those are definitely better suited for Twitch. Karaoke I'm not so sure about yet. Karaoke I kind of like doing on YouTube, but I also want to try it on Twitch to get a sense of the vibe. I think the rules are a lot less strict there, so I definitely want to give that a try. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I think this Saturday's karaoke will kind of give me an inkling of whether I like it on YouTube or Twitch more. Will any of the Twitch VODs be uploaded on YouTube? Probably not. Hello! Welcome in, Masato. Hello. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, I think I don't really like uploading my Twitch VODs. Part of the thing that I like about Twitch is that the VODs go away, and I don't have to look at myself streaming. I could just be like, yes, I did that, and then it's going to be erased forever, and I don't ever have to think about being cringe again. So that's something I actually really like. Also, uploading Twitch VODs is, I don't know. I don't really like it. I like things to not be permanent. I mean, it is a bit of a shame not to have that record, but, you know. I think also streaming more on Twitch will get me affiliates soon, and then I can put my emotes there. That'll be fun. But yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at with Twitch versus YouTube right now. I like to be like, I streamed, and then I never have to think about someone randomly clicking onto my channel, randomly clicking onto that stream, and being like, man, this stream sucked. I'm never gonna watch this guy ever, kind of thing. So, yeah. But, that's just what I've been thinking about. Other things, though, I am probably gonna start, I want to try doing some YouTube shorts, partially, well, one, because I have to. One, because, I signed myself up to do a spoiler for GA, and I wanted to make a really nice YouTube short for that. I guess I should probably actually use the real word. So Grand Archive, the card game I play, one of the developers reached out about me doing a spoiler for the game, for their new upcoming card set coming out. So I get to show off one of the cards in a YouTube video. And so I was thinking, okay, short form is probably the best way to go about that. But I want to make it interesting, and I kind of want to do the editing and storytelling myself, or the joke telling, I guess. So I've been watching a few YouTube shorts from other VTubers and other creators, and like thinking about how I want to do that. And so I got started with sandboxing that a little bit, and I came up with some other ideas along the way, things that I thought I'd throw out that I'm like, this is a good idea. I kind of want to do this, but it doesn't really fit for this specific short. So now I have a few ideas for fun shorts I want to do. And I also like, I enjoy making videos and like doing stuff. I think, so of the YouTube shorts that I have out, I don't think I've done like anything like scripted. Most of it's just been stream clips, but there is one where I actually went in and I tried to be a little sneaky, and I edited myself in saying things that weren't actually on the stream to make it a little more cohesive. And I actually really liked doing that, and that one kind of did better than the other one. So I kind of want to actually start doing those kinds of videos, because I feel like it'd be fun. And I don't know, I've never really done like YouTuber or TikToker like stuff. Part of me is like hesitant to try something new and branch out from what I already do with like singing and covers, but another part of me is like, you know, this seems actually a little bit fun, so I want to try that. So I think we are going to do some of that. I mean, maybe I'll do a few of them and they'll flop, but I don't know, we'll see. And when I mean shorts, I kind of mean like what you imagine. Like, think of Sheena from Face Connected and what she does with like her shorts. Just like, I did this. That's not what she sounds like, but that's what she sounds like in my head. It's like, would you know? That's not what she sounds like. I'm sorry. Oh yeah. Like, one of the things I actually kind of want to try doing is, because I've been super into card games, right? I wanted to do like. Also, by the way, Kontomo Zera, welcome in. I really wanted to do like explaining something in something else's terms, like explaining card games in Genshin Impact terms, or explain this thing in these terms. Welcome in, hi on, welcome in. And yeah, so I feel like that'd be really funny and kind of ridiculous. So I really want to try that out. I feel like it'd be a good time, something a little hee hee ha ha to go about. But yeah. The other thing, I just gotta say, I'm distracted already. The other thing that I really like about Twitch versus YouTube, I feel like I shouldn't be bashing YouTube on a YouTube stream, but there's something about the placement of the chat and like the UI that makes it like a lot more comfortable to respond to Twitch chat rather than YouTube. Like just, I don't know if it's just the text placement, but when someone says hello on Twitch, it feels like so much more casual and easy to respond. But for some reason on YouTube, I feel like it interrupts my train of thought and like throws me off a little bit. And I don't know what it is. I feel like it's just a mental barrier. but we'll see. I don't know. Just different folks for different strokes. That's not the right quote. I don't know. But yeah. So YouTube Shorts, maybe we'll do some. I can break open the After Effects and make some stuff. Wait, what? Isn't that the quote? Like different people enjoy different things, different folks for different strokes. Is that right? Like strokes of paint, like people paint differently. Close enough. Okay. Something like that. Okay. We're on it. But yeah, so I don't know. I really like making videos, or at least from the video I have made and the stuff. I feel like I could come up with something stupid or something funny to say or some funny stories, so it'd be nice to break those out at some point. It's flipped around, but close enough. Okay. Got it. But yeah, yeah, I am, yeah. And I also do want to do some more streaming just so I can, reestablish that I exist here a little bit, but yeah. More covers on the way. I think, yeah, what part of the other reason I want to downsize my streaming a little bit is like, now that I'm actively thinking about YouTube and stuff a little bit more, I'm kind of like, oh man, I wish I were using this time to work on this cover that I was supposed to release 3 months ago. So, yeah. It's all a weird balancing act that I definitely want to try putting together. Also, welcome in, Leia Ray. Hello. So, I think enough time has passed. And the chat has decided that we will be playing the game again, fresh from chapter 1. So, what's up, Dongus? Welcome in. So we will be playing the game again, seeing where the chapter takes us. Part of me is going to be a little less creeped out because I know exactly what happens, and I have a pretty decent memory of it. But yeah. Are you reading the chat from browser or OBS? From browser, there's an extension to make it look like Twitch chat. Oh, that's interesting. No, I pop out the chat window, and so it just pops up, and it's like basically hovering on the right of my screen as I stare at myself. I have my VTube Studio open right now, and I'm just staring at myself as I talk, and then I have the chat like covering some blank spot on my screen, and I just look slightly to the right to see it. It's a setup, all right. But yeah, so yeah, it's a spooky game. Hopefully creepy vibes will get there. Maybe my voice acting has improved just a little bit. Speaking of voice acting, I want to do more Kagurabachi memes. Do I seem sane? Wait, hold on. Do I seem sane to you? Okay. N10 Black. Okay, we're gonna stop there. Kagurabachi, I'm like a few chapters behind. Anyways, and that's enough stalling. Let's duel. That's not the right franchise. Okay, I actually haven't set up the game yet, so I need to, set up the game. So I'm going to do that. Wait a minute. Oh, Jesus. I didn't even get set up for that. So, I'm gonna close the poll here and give me a hot minute to actually set up the game as I stall for time. Enough time has passed, Tiny Bunny. I'm gonna change the title of the stream. Check this out. Chapter 1 from Chapter 4 to Chapter 1. Boom! Never saw that one coming. All right. So I have this set up, and then boop, get rid of that, and then boop, get that going, and then drop that there, and then that works. All right, cool. And then I actually need to set up the game now, so open up this here, and then does it fit to the screen? Oh, cool. Okay, and then desktop audio. All right. Enough time has passed, Tiny Bunny. All right. It's time. I'm gonna lower the volume maybe a little bit. And we're gonna get spooked. It's been a while. It's been a hot minute since I played this game. The atmosphere is definitely already spooky enough. So, we're gonna get into it. All right. So let's do some narration here. I raise my volume a little bit? Let me know if the volume is ever imbalanced, and I can do some adjustments. Wind clawed at my window all night long. It wandered the fields and howled like a hungry beast. Maybe I should turn on the reverb for maximum vibe. An endless song, weaved from all... That sucks. Never mind. Weaved from all sorts of voices. Shrill, gentle, sneery, twined in the air. Actually, does the reverb suck? Does it actually suck? Is this funny? I can't even tell. They were shouting and laughing and arguing about something. Someone was running through the snow while casting long shadows that would occasionally creep close to my bed. Maybe just a little bit of reverb. Okay, let me tweak this a little bit. What about this? How's this one sound? That one's a little bit better. Maybe we can do this, but like lower it. What about the ping pong? Oh, echo. Oh, I like that. That's cool. Okay, maybe a little less of that. Make it wide. Okay. Test. Echo. Woo. More reverb. Oh, okay. Maximum atmosphere. We got it. All right, so spooky. Wish I could turn the lights out on this. Hold on, I have an idea. I'm just gonna make this, full screen and just maximize the spookiness. Hold on, give me a second. Just gonna test all this out here. If I remove this, and then I remove the bunnies a little bit. How can I make this darker? I don't know how to make this any darker looking. Oh wait, I have an idea. Hold on. Nah, we'll just go for it. Spooky mode. Oh no, but now the chat is covering the Here we go. Oh, what the heck? This is not working quite the way I thought it would. Okay, there we go. All right. Sounds super trippy with 7.1 surround sound. Nice. Okay. Echo. All right, this is a little more spooky. Ah, man, the chat box is still a little bit covered. This sucks. Maybe I can just, hold on. I have an idea. Don't mind my face as I look at my other screen and I do this. How can we do this? I should have prepared for this more. We're gonna go. Boop. And then I'm gonna rotate this if I can. Can I rotate this? Transform. Edit, transform, rotation. We'll go maybe -30. Whoa! There we go. Close enough, right? Close enough. Okay, here we go. Keep going here. Our house had a mind of its own. The creaky old mind of a building that had seen a lot in its days and was seemingly trying to share its wisdom with the inhabitants. The lonely house faced the forest, and the dark green thicket gazed back with its hollow eyes, rustling, whizzing, swaying back and forth. One could come out and stand at the edge of the forest to reassure themselves. There was nobody behind the crooked trees. Fuzzy silhouettes swaying in the wind couldn't possibly do any harm. It's just a play of light and shadow. Okay, I gotta get into my VA voice, guys. It's been a bit. Just a play. I knew it was my imagination. I was already 12 after all. Still. Episode 1. The owl will arrive. I love the sound effects on this. So real.
Убери книгу немедленно.
I'm sorry, is that I shouldn't do that. Hey, put away your book.
Сколько раз говорила, не читай за столом, вредно. Сидишь, сутулился весь.
Exactly what she said. I'm gonna hide the book. I didn't protest and put the book about Conan the Barbarian aside. I was stuck on a line I couldn't understand after reading it 3 times anyways. Olya had finished her breakfast and was munching on some cookies. She was so enthusiastic she almost looked like your typical girl from commercials.
Пока не съешь, из-за стола не встанешь.
Exactly what she said. I, on the other hand, was still trying to drill a hole in the plate with my eyes, as if it would make the porridge disappear. Hazy anxiousness welled up inside, all because of the previous sleepless night, the black forest around our house and the gloomy wind. The longer I waited, the colder the lumpy white substance became. I feel bad for him, he must have had oatmeal. Looked like a jellyfish from Cousteau Odyssey. I love that show. I wonder how horrifying the bottom of the ocean is, or how black the forest is at night. The spoon fell out of my hand. Mom showered me with the cold glare from her green eyes.
Что я говорила?
Я достану.
I had 10 seconds to catch my breath before battling the nasty porridge once again. I felt around for the spoon. What's this carved in the other side of the table? Karina. Ha, that's my mom's name. I guess she had carved it out with something pointy when she was little. She sure was a rascal, damaging furniture like that. She would scold me for a week if I did something similar, though. Should I remind her about it? No, she's been in a bit of a bad mood lately. I imagined her being my age, sitting under this table. I wonder, was my mom afraid of the dark back then? Were the sounds coming from the attic? Or the thick forest? That scared the shit out of me. I imagined my grandma coming into my little mom's room, sitting in the edge of her bed where Olya sleeps nowadays, and saying this in her soft, smooth voice. Hold on, I have an idea to change the audio even better. Hold on. I'm gonna adjust the EQ here. Give me a second. Spooky! Spooky! Just gonna... Hello? There we go. You're just gonna high cut that. Wait, that's not... We'll do that. And we'll just change this to that. Spooky. Spooky. Something like that, maybe? Does that sound spookier, guys? Does that feel better? Can you guys even hear me? Sounds muffled? That was the goal. The goal is to make it sound more muffled and spooky and atmospheric. Hold on. If I play it back... Maybe I need to check the audio myself. Hold on. I should have planned this out more. Very atmospheric. Awesome. How do I monitor and output? Oh, that's really good. I imagine my grandma coming into my little mom's room. Oh, this is so good. Yeah. Okay, that was awkward. It was like double blasting you guys, right? Sounds like your inner voices. Oh, perfect. I imagine my grandma coming into my little mom's room, sitting at the edge of her bed, where Olya sleeps nowadays, and saying this in her soft, smooth voice.
Тайга — особое место, дитятка. Она к тебе присматривается, принюхивается. Словно хочет понять, что ты за зверь такой. Понравишься, в беде не бросит. А будешь проказничать, схватит за бочок и утащит с собой под землю.
Exactly.
Тут и дело с концом.
Boom, you're dead. Grandma was caring. She never fought with anybody, never yelled, never swore, never said shit. Those were the times. Without the maddening screams until late at night, without smashed dishes and mutual accusations. Our parents used to love each other back then. I remember listening in on one of their conversations by chance. They were talking about Grandma getting prepared for her funeral. She had already bought a casket. She called it her cute funeral box. I waited for its time in the closet, patiently. It was black, upholstered with meat-colored material on the inside. I saw it when my grandma was getting buried. The house didn't change since the time she was alive. Only all the photos were gone. God, I feel like I'm scared, and I've already played this section. Glass-covered pictures with gray faces of my ancestors. They all had a dead but watchful look on their eyes. I crawled out from under the table. Olya was done with her cookies, and I was looking at my share like a sly woodland critter. I turned my gaze toward the frosted window. There were a lot of dark pines outside, but they didn't grab my attention. The pattern of frost formed a picture on the glass.
Оля, гляди, лиса! Где?
It looked almost like those optical illusion thingies they put in the back of student notebooks. A mixture of lines at first glance, but if you blur your vision a little bit, and look at a certain angle.
Да не на улице, на стекле. Смотри, вот нос, вот.
Ну-ка, доедай.
Да, сейчас. Я ничего не вижу.
Живо. Совсем немного осталось.
Вот. Но все равно не похоже. А я говорю, похоже. Не-а. Похоже.
Прекратите! Ну что за дети?
Now I couldn't see the fox either. It disappeared, went away. Only the frosty pattern seemed to stretch out. Nettle leaves kept crawling up the glass. My dad entered the kitchen with long, measured steps. I want to have a beard like his when I grow up. My mom would always ask jokingly, "Come, shave it off, it stings." So long ago. Nowadays, rumbling doors and witty comebacks were an everyday occurrence. Dad looks like a Chad! True. Ulya always covers her ears when she hears something like, "What's the point of all this?" through the wall. "It's all for your sake," Dad would reply. "For the sake of our family." I'd always caught every sound in fear of hearing the most dreadful, deadliest word that started with a duh. Duh. These nuts! Oh, divorce. I don't even want to finish it. It was scary to imagine that me and my little sister could be torn apart and taken into two different families. That's not always how it works, TBH.
Да что твоя лиса? Вот у меня на окне сова.
I don't know if this is too personal, but I'm from a divorced family. It was alright.
Опять ты со своей совой.
Так ты же вчера мне верил.
Никто ключи от машины не видел?
Yeah, bro, they're over there.
Вроде оставлял на подоконнике.
Вроде. Вроде оставлял, вроде нет.
I don't remember there being voice acting the last time I played this, but this is really nice. I don't have to read it all out loud.
Вроде взрослый мужчина, отец двоих детей, а вроде...
Перестань, пожалуйста, Карина. Дай мне спокойно собраться.
Ooh, damn.
В корзине твои ключи, возле телефона.
Огромное тебе человеческое спасибо. Антон, ешь быстрее, а то как мученик сидишь.
А сова?
Не было там никакой совы.
Была.
Was there really one? Yeah, the VA sounds great.
Глазюки огромные. Во, и светятся.
That sound scared the shit out of me again. Ulya sprung up from the chair and placed her hands on her little face, imitating a pair of eyes with her fingers the size of an apple each.
В прошлом году бабай в шкафу. Сейчас сова?
Но я же видела.
Ulya shifted her gaze back and forth from Dad to Mom to me, but couldn't find any support.
А ты не думала подружиться с ней, нет? Вымышленными мышами покормить, например?
Не подначивай ребенка. Просто мала еще, и спать одна боится.
Ulya pouted her lips in rebellion and rushed into the hallway. The staircase that led to the second floor creaked. Mom gave Dad a strict look. Oh, that look in her eyes. It's so uncomfortable to be pinned under it. Dad just snorted in reply and left, ringing with the keys he just found. A minute had passed and the theme song from The Little Mermaid echoed through the house. It was stored on an incredibly worn-out cassette tape, which Dad had already had to glue together once. It's easy to fix objects, but by gluing them back together, for example. But how do you fix a relationship? Therapy. Mom moved to the living room, and I was left alone, anxiously stealing glances at the window. That also scared the shit out of me. Hey, Tomo! Why is Tomo, like, on the side? I'm giving room for the game, guys! I need to give it full atmospheric vibes. Ulya had trouble sleeping ever since we moved to this house. She would toss and turn or curl up into a ball under her blanket. Sometimes she would jump up in the middle of the night and turn on the VCR. Cartoons helped take her mind off all the troubles we had with the move and our parents. Jesus fuck! Excuse my French. And then Ulya said she saw the giant flashing monster outside her window. She became obsessed with it. Our parents did everything in their power. They tried every little trick to get rid of those shadows and ridiculous fears. Ulya refused to sleep alone and didn't believe that owl was just one of her nightmares. After last night, I was unsure what to make of my sister's words, what to think of it myself. Can nightmares be infectious? That night, I couldn't get a wink of sleep, and ended up thinking of what to expect from my new school. There were a couple days left before the beginning of a new term. My imagination drew long, twisted hallways that led to a classroom full of kids. But all the students behind their desks were simply dark figures, cut out using a template. Circular holes gaped in the middle of their faces, and a pair of eyes blinked inside those holes. It was as if some completely different creatures were looking at me from behind the flat black silhouettes. Their cruel glares, filled with icy sneers, made me shiver from head to toe. Will I survive here? Won't they gang up on me and beat me down, stomp on me with their bloodied shoes? The damn school can burn for all I care. I just wished for anything to happen to it. It doesn't matter what. I don't want to go there that badly. I don't want to see people who are just itching to smack me on the head, trip me up, think of a new offensive name for me worse than the previous one. I felt like the glasses I wore made me an outsider or some sort of monster. My gaze slid across the drawings hanging on my walls. I couldn't consider myself a great artist, but Ulya begged me to hang them. Drawing was the only thing that made me happy as of late. Truly, the new horror is school. It never goes away. The small circle of friends I had also enjoyed my paintings. They promised to call me from time to time. Sometimes I imagine Mom picking up the phone and saying in a cold voice, "You've got the wrong number." Or, "Anton isn't around." Anton is not around. I imagine my future classmates lying in their beds just like me, listening to the howls of invisible werewolves outside their windows. Maybe my classmates will like me after all. But who would ever like a boy with thick glasses? Hey, I wear glasses! My dad used to wear glasses when he was little, and now he's married to the most beautiful woman on the planet. My mom? The house creaked, pressed by the wind. "Hello, Chang Dean's phone. Welcome in." The condo we used to live in, a 9-floor concrete building, buzzed with the neighbor's drill, mumbling with the TV set from behind the wall, cried like a baby from the big family next door. How am I? I'm good, playing the game. Our current house, though I can't really call it new, was completely different. It was silent and easy, going through the day. Its shadows lay dormant in the corners and the closet cobwebs under the stairs. They all woke up during the night. Something was watching me from every corner, almost as if the old photos of my deceased family, with their ashen eyes, were hanging on the walls in place of my drawings. The floor was squeaking, the rusty rains were moaning, the attic was occupied by noisy drafts. One could think of the house was performing some kind of demonic melody. And then I realized I was, in fact, hearing music. It was already playing for a good while. Somewhere at the edge of my perception, I could hear a flute. It was mixed in with the sound of the wind, the creaking of the old house in my thoughts, too. I stood up and rushed to the window, wanting to reassure myself that the music was nothing more than a product of my imagination. It's not like someone is playing it there, amidst the cold, snowy night, right? You opened the window. Someone was dancing in the field. Black silhouettes I could barely make out, with the forest as their backdrop. They loomed around, basking in the moonlight, bumped into piles of snow, rolled around and crawling on all fours. Stories about wolves playing under the moon came to my mind, but these were clearly not wolves. They stood upright at all times, circling around, holding hands, whipping up the snow, disappearing into shadows for a brief moment and then coming back. Something bizarre was going on. Shadows dancing in the starless abyss made my imagination go wild, making me anxious at the same time. Suddenly, the music had stopped. The dancing shadows froze in place, and I could swear, pierced me with their eyes. One of the silhouettes immediately parted from the bizarre shadow carnival and sprinted across the field with giant leaps. It glided on the squeaky snow without leaving any prints until it was devoured by the pitch-black snow of my house, which became even darker and thicker. My heart was jumping around like a bird in a cage. I shut the curtains with a swift motion, stepped back towards the bed. They saw me! A freezing torrent of fear washed over me. I stood in the middle of a perfectly dark room and listened to some unwanted guest move and scrape around looking for an entrance. The sound moved to the right, then circled around the house. Now my guest should be at the front door. I jumped into bed, covering myself with the blanket as if it could protect me. The shackles of fear locked my muscles. I remembered the funeral, my grandma lying there, hands crossed on her chest. Her facial features sharp like that of a tin doll. Ants running up and down the legs of the chair that held my grandma's casket. I imagined those creatures climbing up her head and pulling her eyelids with their tiny legs. Then her wrinkly eyelids would once again move inside their sockets, and she'd be able to see her grandchildren. I was chanting the spells she taught me through the whole procedure, and now lying under the blanket and listening to the squeaks and howls, I repeated those same words.
На острове Буяне, в синем океане, стоит домовина, в ней сало и глина, волосы седые, чертям еда, раба Божьего Антона не тронут никогда. Бесы забудут дорогу к дому, мертвые к мертвому, живое к живому.
Bizarre sounds had disappeared. I cautiously gazed out from under the blanket, saw the curtains waving around like a hanged man. The night doused me with a new portion of boiling terror. The sound scratched at my eardrums. In reality, something or someone were scratching at the front door, hurriedly clawing at wood, demanding to be let in. The door was shut. Dad had become very cautious recently, so he installed a sturdy lock. I remember him staring at the forest intently as if he was looking for someone.
Мертвое к мертвому, живое к живому.
I hugged my knees, placed my chin between them and drilled the door with my eyes. It was so flimsy and weak before the might of darkness. And then, the doorknob twitched, slightly. Then it turned halfway, once, twice, as if the person who tried to enter had no hand. The doorknob tilted once more and then started clicking violently. My jaw cramped with fear. My wet fingers clutched the blanket. The door creaked and opened. The wind haunted, moaning inside the tin drain. Now you'll see. The door was wide open. The darkness writhed inside the carnivorous mouth of the door. Tomoya. As if the night itself was calling out to me, flapping its black wings and squeaking with rusty hinges. I was trembling ensnared by the web of darkness that clung in the corners of my room, waiting for the one who weaved it to come out from all the gaping hole. Tomoya. Tony Stark? My abdomen tingled, and my chest rose up, ready to exhale a gasping scream. But before I was able to do anything, the darkness asked me.
Ты спишь тоже?
Ah, man. My sister's pale face protruded from the thick shadows. I almost screamed from relief. Ah!
Оля, я не сплю. Что случилось?
Ulya frowned and stuck out her lower lip, a clear sign she was about to cry.
Она опять прилетела и пялится на меня. Прогони ее тоже. Прогони, пожалуйста. Я так боюсь.
The fear that was tormenting me just a moment ago crawled away and hid somewhere in my stomach. I needed to calm Ulya down.
Это был сон, глупая. Не пугайся. Сны не кусаются. Никто тебя не обидит.
Ulya sobbed. I just skipped the text. Oh, fuck! She was trying her best to believe me. But was I sure myself?
У меня есть идея. Пойдем к тебе в комнату, видик посмотрим. Спящий, тебе же нравится этот мультик? Почему у спящей красавицы принца у меня эта страшная птица?
The question took me by surprise. Sometimes you just have shit luck.
Ладно, давай посмотрим Золушку.
My thoughts became tangled, fuzzy. What was that? What studied me with its eyes while dancing feverishly under the moon? The darkness was clinging to the window, and it couldn't be fooled by my grandma's old chants. Gotta try a new chant. I gotta go to sleep. Try watching after you're free? Thanks for stopping by, Leia. I appreciate it. I couldn't be satisfied with the feast of lard or... Wait, it couldn't be satisfied with the feast of lard or long ashen hair.
Маша, ты идешь?
Nah, I gotta take a shit.
Да,
Oh,
сейчас.
just kidding. Holy shit! I literally jumped to the ground. That scared the shit out of me. That's why I didn't want to laugh at Ulya in the morning. At Ulya and her owl in the morning. Who could be visiting here? Us here in the middle of nowhere. We don't know anyone around here. So persistent. I felt extremely unsettled from just a silly thought that our morning guests could have come from the woods. I could barely hear voices coming from the front door. My mind was urging me to hide. In the closet, under the table, behind the curtains where Ulya always hides. I felt like kettlebells were tied to my feet, but still dragged them towards the hallway. A couple policemen towered over me in the doorway. They smelled like frost and worry. My mom always winced and grumbled the moment she saw patrol cars. Worse than bandits. At the moment, though, she looked somewhat confused.
Здравствуйте.
The senior officer, who wore a grim expression, nodded.
Тут мальчик вчера потерялся. Вовой зовут. Глянь, пожалуйста. Ты его не видел?
The policeman held out a photograph to me. Wow, they really amped up the cutscenes for sure. There was a ginger boy around the age of elementary school, pictured with a wall carpet as the backdrop. He had a striped cat in his hands and wore a wide smile.
Нет.
Точно? Посмотри внимательнее.
Где мне его видеть? Я тут никого не знаю, да и из дома-то почти не выхожу.
Dude, same.
А может, видел в окно?
Да, у тебя ведь окна на лес.
The window.
Нет, не видел.
Ясно.
He sounded tired, but his stare long and heavy was full of suspicion. I squirmed unwittingly under the weight of guilt, which his giant shadow cast over me. The policeman finally tore his eyes from me and glanced over the hallway. The stairway and the cracks in the ceiling, which I hadn't noticed before for some reason.
Вы, кстати, как на новом месте? Попривыкли уже?
Понемногу, только вот дочка маленькая по городу скучает.
Скучает, значит. Из местных вас никто не беспокоит?
Все хорошо, спасибо.
The policeman pierced through me one more time with his brown eyes. My head started spinning.
Может, вам помочь как-то?
I asked that in a shaky voice to look like a polite boy and to end this unpersistent conversation sooner, or unpleasant conversation.
Я вот стою и думаю, ты, малец, на племеша моего похож. Шустрый парнишка твоих лет, с такими же окулярами. Все книжками зачитывался. Да ты когда летом погостить приезжал, говорит, что в школу милиции мечтает поступить. Как я, хотел людям помогать. Смекаешь?
Oh, that's nice of him. I felt uncomfortable, as if a distant relative and not a police officer stood in front of me. Oh, man, relatives, that's the worst.
Ох, ребятушки, сидите-ка вы лучше дома. Не ввязывайтесь ни во что. Жизнь сейчас совсем другая пошла.
Mom interjected with a cold voice.
Мне ли не знать?
Ну да ладно. Ты, Антон, в каком классе учишься?
В 6-м.
Друзей-то на новом месте еще не завел?
Пока нет. Я только после каникул в школу пойду.
Тогда вот вам на всякий случай мой номер. Звоните, если узнаете что.
The policemen were gone along with their shadows, the smell of cheap cologne and the photo of a smiling boy. His face still stood before my eyes. I wondered what it was like for him, being all alone, there. For some reason, I thought of the forest swaying in my mind, or swaying in the wind. What did his poor parents feel? What would my parents do if I'd gone missing? Would they cry and thrash around hysterically? Or would they accuse each other like they always do and forget about me eventually?
Мам, а Вова этот в нашем лесу заблудился?
Выходит, что так. Бедный ребенок.
I looked out the window at the road. The police Waz drove off towards the village. The officer's nephew came to mind when I was spitting off old paint from the windowsill. I remembered all the teenage mystery novels from the Black Kitty series I'd read this summer. Your average boys and girls investigated all sorts of mysteries there. They looked for clues, spied on suspicious people, and after a set of amazing adventures, bam! Solved any complicated case. They became local celebrities and must have made their parents very proud. I noticed a trail of policemen's footprints that led to the forest, and then it clicked in my head. Why don't I start an investigation of my own? Maybe I'll find that lost boy, and I'll get a reward. Olya will be so happy. Not only Olya, Mom and Dad too. Maybe they'll even forget about their quarrels for a while. Maybe I'll even save us from the D word. I fantasized about buying Olya Tamagotchi, getting a cassette player and a bunch of tapes for myself, a whole bunch of Kinder Surprise. I want some Kinder Surprise right now. When was the last time our parents bought us any toys? Last autumn, I think. My dad had lost his job at the time. It was that annoying song about it. I had little to no idea about what was the accountant's job like. They count money, I think? Neighbors used to envy us, but nowadays Mom and Dad barely had any money to afford sweets. Dad would always divide a single chocolate bar between me and Olya. Sometimes I gave her my share too. No matter how much I wanted to eat sweets, I wanted to eat sweets, she was still just a pipsqueak. I couldn't wait to go out looking for clues.
Пойду погуляю.
Ага, чтобы потом милиционеры с твоей фотографией по домам ходили. Лес вон какой густой.
True.
А если мальчика звери дикие утащили? Или того хуже?
Even worse echoed through the hallway.
Да я рядом буду. В лес не пойду.
Что я тебе сказала? Мне дважды повторять? Лучше портфель собери или соли поиграй.
The sound of splashing water came from the kitchen. It meant that the argument was over and Mom had the last word. Whoa, wait, there's so many more options. Grandma kept ice cream for me and Olya there. But now I could see meat bits and soup clumped together. Plemy. I grew to hate them already. What are other options? Dark, stuffy closet. Mom says it smells like mice. How does she know that smell? She hates it when I stick my nose in there. She's afraid I'll cut myself on a freshly sharpened axe. Noldia can't even be lured close to it. She thinks bye-bye and is living there. I tried to help fight her fears once. I opened the door and turned on a dim lamp so she would see there was nothing but cobwebs, Dad's tools, and scratched walls. She still didn't believe me. I like to hide in the closet and listen to Olya count outside. 1, 2, 3, better hide from me. And then drag her feet on the creaking floorboards, hoping that she won't need to look for me in the cramped monster's den.
Антон,
Oh,
сейчас ремня получишь.
I would never do something like that. It was difficult to lie to Mom, but there was no other way for me to run away from home.
Мам, там что-то с телевизором случилось. Картинка какая-то тусклая и экран весь в полосах.
Mom's face became visibly
Без
distorted.
ножа меня режешь. Дострелялся в уток своих. Говорила же, посадите мне кинескоп своей приставкой. Где мы теперь мастера найдем в дыре этой, а?
Может быть, просто настройки сбились? Сходи, посмотри, пожалуйста.
Нормально же работал с утра.
Из-за снегопада, наверное, неполадки.
Mom rubbed her hands clean on her apron and went up to Olya's room. Let's go! I opened the front gate and went to the field, carefully so Mom wouldn't see me through the window. When I crossed half the distance toward the forest, snow piles became high as my knees. I remembered my nightly fears. I saw those silhouettes around here. They were jumping around, holding hands. That hypnotizing music started playing in my head all on its own. The light of day, those distant figures felt like a simple dream. The sun turned my nightmares to ash, but the aftertaste was still there, distant ringing in my ears, distorted shadows crawling on the snow alongside me, and a barely audible whisper in my head, blurry and almost kind. Everything was silent. So silent I felt like the world was totally empty. No ground, no sky, no parents, no Olya. The time reached its limit, a one-way trip that ended at the forest's tiny stockade. Sometimes silence was much scarier than any scream. Our parents would scream at each other while arguing, and both me and Olya turned to stone, listening to them. But then always came the ringing silence. Our apartment became numb a couple days before we departed. It was always hard to remember the last time Mom and Dad joked around, laughing, or spent time together. Almost like all of it was in a previous life. When they kissed with Olya present, she always frowned and snorted in a funny way. But one day it all changed. Something important had left our home. And something scary filled the remaining void. It was as if a fire broke out and our parents were hurriedly packing our belongings, trying to save themselves and us. From who, though? From the people with dead, cold eyes, who sometimes wished to have visited us at our previous home. The eyes that only saw balls of worms in the black ground of the everything. And somewhere, far away, a siren was going off, trying to warn us of the coming menace. I shuddered, chasing away my delusions, and looked around. There was only me, this white field, and the wind that was whipping up icy dust and belts of powdered snow. I squinted from the sun, turned my eyes to the sunless forest. It looked especially dark in contrast with the blinding whiteness. Knobby tree roots slithered under the snow like fat snakes. Rotten leaves and coniferous needles froze into the ice. Dry, pickled branches intertwined, bringing up uncomfortable thoughts about fences. Were they protecting the forest? Were they keeping something from breaking out? Some object was hanging from one of the pointy branches. I tried to get closer, drowning in snow. When I almost got to the edge of the forest, I saw a knitted mitten. It looked like a wounded bird among the hungering semi-dark. Should I take it to the police? The senior officer looked gloomy, but he still reminded me of Captain Casanova from my favorite TV show called The Streets of Broken Lights. He was also always anxious, with a tired look in his eyes, but still brave and strong. Will this mitten help them find the lost boy? Vulva! I heard a distant shout, looking like it came up from the river. Vulva! As if the trees were calling out to someone. Vulva resounded closer to me. Someone was standing there behind the trees, hiding. Vulva! I knew someone was looking for the lost boy, but still, something was unsettling about that figure. Stillness, how it was bent unnaturally toward the ground. Blackness. There's no one there, just branches and roots. It's all just my imagination. A nearby bird flapped its wings loudly. Good night, Sticks. Thanks for stopping by. Hopefully, I think we'll be wrapping it up soon. Jeez, fuck. Every single time someone leaves, there's always a jump. A shadow split from the tree and disappeared from my sight. I looked away for just a moment, but then when I turned my gaze back to the same place, it was gone. So it was my imagination after all? Silence reigned for a peacefully long time. I'm gonna shit my pants. I don't like that. My muscles were tightly sprung, my heart was beating somewhere in my throat. Any noise, any little moment, any small whisper from the thicket and I'd sprint. But nothing of the sort happened. I looked at the mitten once more. Yeah, fuck this. Lumps of snow fell from the branch that reminded me of the sound soil makes when you throw it into the pit on top of the casket. I immediately felt dizzy as if I was balancing at a precipice. I slowly backed away from my finding. Felt like the moment I touch it, a trap would spring, and the mouse would get caught. Someone walked on ice close by. My inner voice whispered, "Save yourself, run!" My nerves got the better of me. I ran, burying my head in my shoulders. Someone was chasing me from the darkness, breaking pine branches, closing the distance with great leaps. Snow was slowing me down, crazy thoughts flew through my mind. I'd get caught. They'll get me. I'll get dragged into the thicket. I'll be gone forever. But there was one more voice, possibly one of reason. It gave me strength, spurred me on. You can do it, don't stop! I heard an animal roar behind me. It was so loud my ears went numb. Felt like the sound had come from a pack of hungry beasts rather than a single one. Their nostrils sucked in freezing air. They sensed my fear. Two giant wings flapped above my head. An enormous shadow flew over the clearing. A hoot, a wheeze. The roars were coming from all directions now. From the dried-up raspberry bush, from twisted pines under the windfall. Hurry! Run! Don't look back! It was as if I was inside a nightmare. The snowy clearing became viscous like quicksand. I was stuck in place. I pulled my leg from the mushy trap, just to be caught in a new one even deeper than before. I continued to drown, sinking deeper and deeper with every desperate push. Was snow ever this sticky? I screamed in horror, realizing this wasn't snow. Someone or something in the snow was clutching my pants. I gathered all my strength and rushed forward. The pressure on my leg was gone. My boots slipped out of the hole and my soles were on the hard surface again. I reached a clear path with one jump from there and ran to my house. Its gloomy facade didn't look threatening now. The house was my last line of defense from the shadows that flapped their wings at the creatures that were hidden in the snow. I tripped over the doorstep and smashed into the door. In my hurry, I still managed to notice the claw marks. But that door was striking the wood with his paws, demanding to be let in so it could escape the cold. I hadn't noticed those claw marks when I was leaving. The heartbeat in my ears was much louder than the surroundings. I couldn't hear whether someone was following me or not. What if they were already in the front yard and Mom had locked the door? Drowning in fear, I pulled on the doorknob and immediately it gave way. I rolled into the hallway and shut the door behind me. Porch planks creaked as my pursuers ascended the stairs. My fingers slipped off the lock, and I couldn't click it into place. I gritted my teeth and pulled hard on the iron knob, whipping it between the boards. I stared blankly at the door. Someone was standing at the other side, with a pitiful, flimsy barrier that was probably less useful than blankets. Wheezing breath reached to the house and crashed at me in waves. It smelled of pine and sweat. My mom peeked out the kitchen and chastised me with the same frigid voice she always used when talking to Dad.
Что конкретно тебе не ясно в просьбе не хлопай дверьми?
Я Я случайно.
I snuck a glance at the door. The smell was gone and the breath was too. There was someone in the first place, of course. Here, mere 5 meters away from Mom, my fear was slowly weakening, melting like snow in spring. And with it, the last bit of strength I had left my body too. My legs gave way. I propped myself up against the wall so I wouldn't fall over. Mom's expression had changed immediately. The cold mask of strictness and detachment was gone. Mom looked the same as before all those quarrels. She finally saw my condition, my wet pants plastered with snow.
Ты где был? Я тебе что говорила, а? Чтобы ты дома сидел. Я и для тебя пустое место.
I got afraid she would cry. I reached out to her like when I was very little and wanted her to cuddle me. But Mom regained her composure fast and put on her usual face. Her eyes shined like steel, her voice rang out.
У отца сигареты пропали. Признавайся, ты их стащил? Курить бегаешь?
Там за мной кто-то гнался. Я думал, меня...
I stuttered as soon as I started explaining myself. Tears welled up in my eyes. Mom leaned towards me and sniffed my clothes like a beast snurching from the smell of tobacco. Then she squinted her eyes in suspicion and looked in the front yard. Her expression changed in an instant and she covered her mouth with her hand.
Гляди, вон же они. Прямо у забора.
My heart started thumping, as if I became prey once again and my pursuers were following me in the field. I could swear that I've heard something scratch at the door just like my nightmare. My mom beckoned me with her finger and I gathered all my remaining bravery to look into the kitchen window facing my fear. I could barely discern some hairy silhouettes swimming in snow through the icy winter patterns on the glass. Dogs! Just a small pack of strays, with no name and owner, barely reminding of the hungry monster that live at the edge of the forest.
Божечки, ты их испугался? Да они сами тебя перепугаются, Антон.
Oh, Mom, you silly Mom, that's not the right
Они
thing.
гнались за мной, словно за зайцем. А вдруг они бешеные?
The smile had slowly disappeared from Mom's face. Now she looked at the dogs as if it was her first time seeing
Что если
them.
они нападут на Олю?
Мам,
Вот бы твой отец их всех перестрелял.
мама, они живые.
А что? Ты уж определись, они тебе друзья или враги? Не маленький ведь уже.
You're 12, you're still a little kid. My mom sighed in ignorance and annoyance. I felt so bitter that I bit my lower lip and fixed my gaze on the cobweb-ridden corner just to keep myself from crying. Well, some detective I am. In reality, I wasn't risking my life among monsters, but rather my pants among a pack of stupid strays. I wanted to sink through the floor from embarrassment.
Иди сюда, паникер. Да не стой столбом. Вот, таблетку на. Быстро пей.
A golden-colored pill, reminiscent of a dead wasp, fell into my palm.
Я уже пил сегодня.
Попререкайся мне еще.
Damn,
дома
Mom,
сидеть,
okay.
нет же. Был бы отец, выпорол.
Oh my god, that's child
Сейчас же
abuse.
выпей, а то ночью не уснешь. Тебе ведь в школу завтра.
Yeah, stray dogs seem pretty scary, I know what you mean. So I had to swallow the bitter medication, drinking it down with similarly awful water that gave off a taste of chlorine. Maybe it wasn't Volva's mitten. Maybe it wasn't a mitten at all. Just like the forest monsters and Ulya's owl. Am I going mad? What's happening to me? Either the pill had an immediate effect or my overexerted brain didn't let fear inside anymore. Serenity washed over me, bringing yawny indifference along with it.
Антон, выпил? Можешь, если захочешь. Раздевайся. Уснул, что ли?
Нет, мам, просто задумался.
Интересно, о чем же?
Так, глупости всякие.
Mom scrutinized me with suspicious eyes, as if she wasn't sure she was looking at her own son and not some doppelganger that came from the forest.
Точно все нормально? У тебя такое лицо было, когда милиционер про окно спросил.
Все нормально, мам.
She heaved a deep sigh.
Хорошо.
Seems like the house had changed. The sofa's fabric had become discolored. Fingerprints appeared on the bathroom tiles. The light bulbs also felt different, dimmer and yellower. Even the saliva inside my mouth had a different taste. A melody from Aladdin could be heard from the upper floor. Olya was done rewatching her favorite Little Mermaid episodes and switched out their tapes. I slowly changed into my home clothes, stopped before the sink, and studied my reflection in the mirror, like I was trying to solve one of those spot the differences puzzles. Then I went upstairs. Jafar and Iago's voices died down. I walked past Olya's bedroom and slipped into my own. This simple action drained the last bit of strength from me. I sat on the bed. And then I noticed there was something behind the curtains. My tired hand dropped to the sheets. Whether it was due to the medication I took or the stress I underwent, the room began to contort, as if wind was blowing the walls out like a pair of sails. The corners of the room bent and undulated. The only stable thing in the whole room was a figure. Between the windowsill and the curtains, a flimsy piece of cloth was flimsy piece of cloth was stuck to my hidden visitor, just like a shroud.
Оля?
No, it's not Olya. Ah, fuck! Don't tell me it's another jump scare! I stood up and licked up my dried up lips.
Оля, очень смешно.
Is anyone else leaving now? Because this is a bad time for a jump scare. The silhouette was unmoving. It was enveloped softly by the curtains, as if there was a thick layer of darkness there, not a human being. I reached towards the curtains. I can't do this shit again. Ba-dump, beat my heart controlled by medication. The wind sang in the field, the chorus of voices. I can't look. For a second, I wanted to return to the bed, just lie down and watch the person behind the curtain, knowing full well they were looking back at me. I think this ends on a jump scare. I'm gonna take off my headphones. I'm too scared. They're looking without blinking, waiting for me to fall asleep.
Попался!
Oh, thank God. Thank God.
Да я сразу понял, что это ты.
A blindingly bright halo lit up above Olya's head, with the setting sun as the background. My sister was shining. It's Volva's body! When she was a baby, Dad always used to say she was shining with happiness. Now he's retorted, but Dad, she's not the sun flashlight. But I brought her to the window one day, and sunlight poured on her smiling face. I felt like I was holding a light-woven
А
child.
почему к нам милиция приходила?
I
Ты
killed a
что-то
man.
натворил? Нет, конечно. Это из-за совы, да?
I showed her a worried smile and rubbed her
Один
head.
мальчик потерялся в лесу.
О, ему, наверное, там очень холодно. А его найдут?
No,
Обязательно.
they won't.
Участковый по домам ходит, всем фотографию его показывает.
Olya traversed the room with care and pressed her tiny palms against the window.
А почему он по домам ходит, а не по лесу? Боится?
The question caught me off guard.
Милиционеры ничего не боятся. И лес они прочесали.
I changed the topic, as if trying to get Olya as far as possible from the forest thicket.
Если я сам найду пропавшего мальчика, нам, может, награду дадут. Кучу всякого, как в поле чудес.
Yes, going into the forest is exactly like Wheel of Fortune. You spin one letter, and you win, and you spin another letter, and you die.
Клёво же.
Sounds really cool. Olya wasn't listening to me. She asked in a hushed voice while piercing the forest with incredibly adult eyes, uncharacteristic for her.
А что, если эта сова его утащила?
Ерунда.
That's an L.
Не может сова поднять человека. Но вот что...
This is a very big owl. I picked my words with utmost care. I forced them out of my overexerted brain.
Ты в лес не суйся. Мне кажется, он какой-то, как бы сказать, проклятый, что ли.
Как в сказке?
Нет, скорее, как на той страшной кассете, что родители прячут.
Olya shivered and stole a glance at the window. As I looked at my sister, my heart was tearing apart. She was so fragile. It was so easy to stifle her light. A gust of wind and her small fire would be gone.
Хорошо тебе. Меня вот мама не пускает даже на крыльцо.
I don't want to go outside either.
Как принцесса в башне сижу. Никуда не могу выйти. Так и умру тут от скуки.
There's plenty of stuff to
Не
do.
придумывай. От скуки еще никто не умирал. У тебя же есть я и мультики, а мама с папой скоро помирятся.
This kid needs an iPad to play Suika game. I mean, Switch. iPad. Coco Melon.
Знаешь,
Get her
что бы
her
я
Coco
загадала
Melon.
на следующий день рождения? Чтобы родители тоже в детей превратились, и мы бы все вместе играли, как раньше.
Ага, а если бы они стали размером с жука, то мы бы их в спичечный коробок посадили.
Olya giggled and tugged at my sleeve.
Тоша, пойдем Аладдина смотреть.
Yeah, let's go watch Aladdin. Fatigue won over my desire to be with my little sister. Never mind. I was washed over by some sort of heinous apathy.
Вымотался я. Что-то не хочется.
Ну пойдем. Мне скучно одной, а мама занята все время. Можно выбрать другой мультик, который ты еще не видел.
Yeah, let's watch Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Да я все наши кассеты наизусть знаю.
А вот и не все. Ты Питера Пэна не видел. Помнишь, ты уснул на середине? А там потом такое. Ну пойдем.
Давай попозже.
Рассказать тебе, чем все закончилось?
Утром расскажешь.
Утром не
Tomorrowland.
захочу. Придумала. А давай в прятки.
Oh, I don't like this. I don't like where this is going. Oh, I like
Тогда
that.
нарисуй мне динозавра.
Oh, yeah,
Оля,
dinosaur.
блин.
Нарисуй, нарисуй.
Да оставь ты меня в покое!
No! I blurted it out without thinking, then was immediately taken aback. I'd never screamed at my little sister like that. Olya stared at me in shock. Her lips started trembling, a precursor to tears. My chest was seething with disgust and embarrassment. What's happening to me? I hurried to prevent Olya from crying.
Ладно, уболтала. Давай смотреть мультики.
No, you meanie.
Уже не хочу.
Oh, look at what you've done. I came up to her. I put my hand on her soft head.
Пойдем. Питера Пэна посмотрим.
Ага, ты опять уснешь.
I smiled and lifted her chin. Her eyes were wet and felt bottomless.
Не усну, обещаю. А потом я тебе целого трицератопса нарисую.
Ура! Трипи-цири-попса!
Ну, почти.
Aw. Olya rubbed her eyes with the sleeve of her pajamas, and a shining smile returned to her face.
Давай ты пока кассету перемотаешь.
Oh,
а
yeah,
я маму
condensed milk
попрошу
and
сгущенки
bread.
с хлебом. Только
Awesome.
утром свежий привезли, как
I
ты
want some
любишь.
bread right now. Kontomo, welcome in, Cloudy.
Неси, только аккуратнее, а то разольешь.
Don't
Опять
spill the
ругаться
milk.
будут.
Спорим, не разолью. Кассета где-то в тумбочке. Поищи пока.
I don't like this. Hold on. Olya disappeared into the doorway, and I dragged my feet into the neighboring room. Yep, turn on the TV. Oh, I remember this. There's a jump scare on the TV. Old futon TV was gathering dust in the corner. All that was left was a clicking button on the front panel. Tube warmed up, and familiar white noise started dancing on black screen. I almost reached out to turn on the VCR, but when the noise calmed down, a clear image appeared for a moment. It was a dark taiga forest, just like the one outside my window. The picture was split the screen in half. Something creepy resembling human speech was coming out of the speaker. Just a few moments later, the scenery was again overshadowed by noise. Did it catch some rogue signal? Local TV station only really showed Soviet cartoons, and even that was pretty rare. And only just recently I used to always watch Robotech before school. It was so awesome! Maybe I should tinker with the antenna. What if I catch this channel again? On the other hand, Olya had asked me to find the tape. It wouldn't be nice to disappoint her, but in my sleepy strength, I didn't have the strength to do all of it. Yeah, let's pull out the thing. I don't remember it giving you this option before. Why does it always feel like don't split up horror rules? Yeah, exactly. I think I'm choosing all the safe options too. I sifted through the shelves full of dolls and blue hippos from Kinder Surprise. I want a Kinder Surprise right now. I found the tape I needed thanks to its shabby spine. Wait, they got a lot of movies. I got the black rectangle from its box. The tape inside it rustled while rewinding to the beginning. The rustle was lulling me to its sleep. Drowsiness attacked me while I was squatting before the TV. Images whirled in my head, me and Olya flying above the forest, tumbling in the soft clouds. My sister is laughing, but her smile becomes more and more forced with every passing second. I noticed that the clouds underneath us part, bearing with the bristly pine tops. Swampy darkness slurped among the trees. Oh my god, it's among us. The wings are no longer able to hold us in Olya.
Ты не смотришь без меня?
You haven't started watching without me, Handy. My sister brought the tray with unevenly cut bread and a whole can of condensed milk. Oh, slapper! I rubbed my eyes.
Нет, садись.
No, come sit.
Мама с папой опять ругаются.
У них сейчас период такой.
Глупый какой-то период.
True. On the screen, Wendy was hiding Peter Pan's shadow into the dresser. Olya was entertained by the cartoonish dog Nana.
Может, и нам родители собачку купят?
Ага, как же.
В Небыляндии у меня будет своя
I
собственная
want a
собака. И
Olya smeared a slice of bread with a thick layer of condensed milk and handed it to me. Wait, that's a thing?
А
That's
у
a
тебя
thing?
все молочные зубы выпали?
Конечно.
Olya frowned deep in thought.
У Питера Пэна зубы молочные. Вдруг со взрослыми зубами тебя не пустят в его страну?
Мы что-нибудь обязательно придумаем.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of dogs outside. You can get one or two of
Попросим
those.
папу исправить тебе возраст в паспорте.
С чего это папа будет документы
Yeah, that sounds
подделывать?
illegal, kid. Olya took a bite from the sandwich and started talking with her mouth full.
Будет. Мама говорила, что он так делал. А я
Aw.
подслушала.
Смотри, уши вырастут, как у Дамбо.
Olya got worried and touched her ear. I smiled to myself. My little sister was silent now. She just devoured bread, watching the adventures of Peter Pan, Tinkerbell, and James Hook. Then she got sucked into the fairy tale Neverland. To be honest, I almost imagined myself there, in a land where one never ages, where no one argues over little things, and where no one listens to fights and the sounds of broken plates at night. Felt like I was dreaming with my eyes still open. Then my sister's scream pulled me back to reality.
Тоша, скорее, штору
Ah, son of a bi- Not this again.
Зачем? Никто же на тебя не смотрит.
Уже темно, а когда темнеет, прилетает сова. Я боюсь.
I don't like this. I got out of the bed, fighting my drowsiness, and closed the curtains. Yeah, we're doing that, for sure. I did my best not to look outside, towards the treetops, towards the tiger forest, which seemingly drew closer and closer. Of course, it was just a visual effect from the shadows of branches scraping the snow.
Тоша, мама думает, что я напридумывала про сову. И папа считает, что раз я маленькая, это значит врушка. А сова есть. Вот честная-пречестная, есть она. Ты же мне веришь, что она там и каждую ночь прилетает и...
I swiftly grabbed Olya's hands and locked her in the eyes. I was trying to transfer at least some of my courage and determination. Did I really have those qualities?
Я тебе верю, слышишь? Ты только родителям больше не рассказывай про сову. У них и так хлопот по горло, они только рассердятся. Ты мне говори, если что случится. И в окно не смотри.
Но она хочет, чтобы я смотрела.
Перехочет. Притворись, что ее нет и не было никогда, что она выдумка, как родители говорят. Ей ждать надоест, она улетит.
I don't like this. We followed Peter Pan's adventures as if nothing had happened, as if the forest didn't kidnap kids, as if our parents weren't tearing each other apart bit by bit. Captain Hook was running away from a crocodile, and Peter Pan was headed to London on a gilded sailboat. By some miracle, I lasted longer than my little sister. Olya's eyelids had dropped. She started snoring lightly, resting her chin on the side of the bed. I stood up and left Olya's room. Oh, always a bad sign. I was looking out the window. Always a bad sign when Mom peeked into my room.
Довольно баловства. Завтра первый день в школе. Ложись, тебе надо
Oh, that's
выспаться.
so spooky.
Не хочешь же ты, чтобы тебя все дразнили Соней?
Adults think everything is so simple. Ah! Who am I to say? As if sound sleep would ensure my classmates would like me. I covered myself with the blanket up to my neck and listened to the house humming, to something invisible rustling in the corners. My inner voice had a question for me. Do I want to hear that mysterious flute again? Yes or no? Maybe it's part of the growing up I can't fully understand my own desires. The forest wailed behind the barrier that was my walls. Some ethereal entity wandered the fields. Branches shook as if they called for me. The wind howled on and on. My thoughts were like annoying flies that entered my head before becoming weak and tangled. I didn't notice how I fell into slumber. It has come after all. The day I feared the most. The day of a new school term. Ah, okay, we're done. Okay. Thanks. And I'll keep this one around. Cool. Alright. Alrighties. Alright, give me a second to undo this filter. It should work. We'll turn this one back on. Yep, I think that should work. Okay, we're back. We are so back. Yay! No jump scare. Only 3 more chapters to catch up with. Oh my gosh, they really stepped up this game a lot. To be honest, I'm really impressed with all the voice acting and all the animation that they added in, and also the choices. I don't think we had some of those choices earlier, so that's pretty cool that they made it more interactive. I think I'm definitely choosing the weak options for sure. I'm kind of hungry. I'm just ready to go to bed. I don't want to poop my pants. So, yeah, the art really is a selling point for the game. Like it's really good, honestly. And then yeah, the writing is really immersive. The storytelling is really immersive. The verbiage. Sometimes I feel like the dialogue's a little bit long, but oh, I forgot to turn off the reverb. But yeah, I think overall they did a great job with the game. So yeah, I'm looking forward to. I don't know if we'll play more, but it's definitely spooky enough. Spooky enough. I definitely won't delete the game this time, just in case we need to go back. But yeah, I think we're good now. Call it here, and yeah, maybe I can set up for a YouTube redirect here. Let's see. It really has been a while since I've done this, so I don't even remember how to do this. Hold on. Redirect. Here we go. So, is anyone live right now that I can raid? Oh, I can raid. Oh, we can raid Mio. It's been so long. All right. So, I think I'll send you guys over to Mio. So we'll close it off. But thanks for the comeback stream. It's been a bit, and I'll see you guys on the next karaoke on Twitch on Saturday, 7 p.m. PDT. All right. That's all, folks. I'll catch you all on the next one. Peace and Otsuto.
What is up, guys? Thank you so much for watching. Before you go, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. We're almost to 100k subscribers, so if you could hit the bell and share, I'd really appreciate it. I post every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, so I'll be sure to make it worth your time. Alright, that's all, my dudes. Remember, as always, love, peace, and weed.